Hello everybody and welcome to a new playthrough I'm going to be doing of Game of Thrones, the Telltale game. I'm NegPrimer, and before I get started, I'm going to mention a little bit of my history with Game of Thrones, the Song of Ice and Fire, and all of that. Song of Ice and Fire, of course, is the name of the book series. So Game of Thrones, first time I ever heard of it or anything, I saw a commercial for the Game of Thrones TV show, season 1, before it aired. Started watching those as they aired, really loved the show, got through the second season, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I want to read all of these books. First and second season of the show, just so absolutely amazing. So much better than anything else on TV at the time. Maybe even still a lot better than most of the stuff. Well, definitely better than most of the stuff on TV right now. But there's very few shows I can point out that are like, they're so much better than those first two seasons. So, first two seasons, I watch those. I read the books afterwards. Get through all 6 books. All 5 books, sorry. In a month or two. I mean, I read quite a bit when possible, but I used to read a bit more, but even then, still didn't do a ton of reading. So read through them all really quickly, relatively quickly for me at least. And I really enjoyed them. They're interesting books. I felt like I had the Wikipedia open more often than not, so I was just sitting there reading a book. Whenever they mentioned somebody new, I'd pull up the Wikipedia article, do all the research into them, and just keep reading the book alongside that. And that's awesome. That's perfect. That's like doing research while I'm reading, and that's exactly what I wanted. They were really good books. A lot of people won't like them because they are so detailed, and they do have like these characters with this rich history, and every single character in the damn books has a deep history. So then season 3 happened, and I didn't hate it. But at the time I was watching it, and I was just like, oh, that's so weird. They changed this from the books, and they changed this from the books. And that's on me, or at least I thought it was on me. So the third and fourth seasons were both kind of like that, where I didn't enjoy them anywhere near as much, and I kind of just attributed that to me having read the books and preferring the books to such a large degree. Although it's weird because I still look back at those first 2 seasons and I'm like, yeah, these are really good. There's a lot of little things that I wish they had kept in, but they didn't. I also played the other Game of Thrones game that came out a little while ago during that time, which is a RPG. Not really sure how to classify it. It's like Knights of the Old Republic clone that came 10 years too late. But now the 5th season came out, and I'm sorry, but what a pile of garbage. I really did not like the 5th season. There was nothing good about it. The Battle of Hardhome is the one moment that people will point to and be like, how amazing was that? And I'm like, yeah, it was, it was pretty good. So I guess there's one thing that I enjoyed about it. But it was, half an episode that was pretty good compared to 9.5 episodes of just dog doo-doo. And they just assassinated the character of all these characters, and I know it's so hard to separate from the books, but what they did to Stannis is unforgivable. There was no reason, even from the TV show, the pure TV show side of things, there was no reason for him to do what he did in those last episodes. There was no reason for Brienne to abandon her post. It was really just sloppy. They some of the stuff that still happens in the books the whole Sansa thing. Yes, I'm intentionally being kind of vague, but the whole Sansa thing, with Theon, it's like, okay, in the books that happens, but it's not Sansa. And so it's just this really weird thing, because it made total sense in the books why I would focus on Theon, because he's a point of view character and that's the way those books are written. And yeah, I just didn't like the last season at all. There was very little to recommend it, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again before the new season, but I don't think I have any hype at all left over for this series. I am really interested in what Telltale did with this. So hopefully I'll enjoy this. I know this follows the end of season 3. One specific event. And I mean, I guess if I'm talking about it, I can talk spoilers, but the whole Red Wedding thing is where this game starts off, I believe. And I don't know. We'll see. Well, unlike some of my past series, if I find out that I'm not enjoying this, then I might drop it. But yeah, what they're doing in the TV show is they're doing things for shock value that don't move the plot forward in any capacity. And yeah, it's, I don't know. But alright, let's go ahead and get started. This is gonna be a story-heavy episode. There's Tyrion. They said when they were reading it, they only had Peter Dinklage in mind for the character. If you've read the books, you know that he's done a really good job with it. He's a great actor for that role. But Tyrion Lannister is described as having, I believe, thin, nappy, bright blonde hair. His eyes are 2 different colors. That scar there also results in him losing his nose. He is defined as a very ugly person. Everything they write about him is, no, he's ugly. He's hard to look at because he's so goddamn ugly. Or no, he had like a silvery blonde hair, I think, because there's that whole rumor going around. But alright. And it's interesting, actually, in the pilot for the TV show, they did have him wear 2 different contact lenses to change his eye color. And I believe some of those scenes still exist in the first episode of the show. But yes, let's go ahead and get started. Oh. That's weird. Okay. It wasn't wanting to actually progress for some reason. Alright, and for the moment we'll be playing mouse and keyboard. Alright, yeah. So House Forrester, loyal bannerman to House Stark. They live in the darkest reaches of the Wolf's Wood. Yeah. They're in the war.
Two weddings brought on by beheadings, and all is happily.
The great Jamie Lannister, Kingslayer, Oathbreaker, brought to his knees by the men of the North.
And set free by the women. You'd think he'd done it himself the way he tells it. Old Forrester's sword won't clean itself, you know.
So this game is going to be very dialogue heavy, so again, I'm not going to try not to talk over other people as a general rule.
Make sure it's spotless this time. Old Forrester won't be happy with blood and brains all over it.
That was easy.
Now that is a proper sword.
I'll have one like it myself someday.
You'll never have a sword like that. I say that as a friend. And if we're being honest, you
Wait,
are just
where-
a squire.
I will. You'll see.
Of course, your lordship. After you take your rightful place on the Iron Throne.
I had a hand in it, you know.
A hand in what?
Capturing him.
He was nowhere near the Kingslayer at the Whispering Wood. He was so drunk he barely made it out of his tent. Next, he'll tell us he caught Tyrion too.
Shh. Let him finish.
Oh, he'll talk all night if you let him.
You captured the Kingslayer?
Aye. Well, I had a hand in it.
Aye. A hand round his ankle as 10 others took him down.
See? What did I tell you?
Brought him to his knees.
Lord Forrester.
Not before he dragged you halfway across the battlefield on your face.
You're questioning Norrin's honor.
I'm questioning Norrin's story. It grows more far-fetched every time he tells it.
Get your liege lord some wine. Go on. It's your job.
Right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Garrett. I'll do it. Norrin's family has faithfully served House Forrester for centuries. His honor is beyond reproach, and House Tully is forever in his debt. They've never seen a field ploughed so well as the day the Kingslayer dragged poor Norrin across the battlefield. That's your cup. Tonight we celebrate. To Robb Stark, the King in the North!
The King!
Tomorrow, we march on Casterly Rock, and House Forrester has been given the greatest honor to lead the Young Wolf's army and ride as the vanguard!
The gods have favored us. Onward to Casterly Rock!
Death to the Lannisters!
Winter is coming.
Let's hope it waits till this bloody war's over.
Got it.
Yes, my lord?
I need you to keep an eye out for Roderick. As his father, I could not be more proud of the man he's become. On a night like this, men find false courage at the bottom of their cups. I'd rather he were here.
Yes, my lord.
There's also the question, what's to be done with you? It's been on my mind for a while now. Something must be done.
With me, my lord.
You've served House Forrester well for several years now, but I can't expect you to squire forever. How shall I reward your loyalty? What can I offer you?
To bring honor to House Forrester, my lord.
You have more honor than those who were born to it. There were those who had their doubts when your uncle put forth your name as my squire. But you've erased those doubts entirely. It would be an honor to see you riding by Roderick's side in the vanguard tomorrow. Not as a squire, but as the equal of any man who serves House Forrester. It's well deserved, Garrett. Your hard work has paid off.
Thank you, my lord. I promise. I won't let you down.
That I don't doubt. But for now, keep this between us. We're celebrating tonight. I wouldn't want the other squires to feel discouraged.
Yes, my lord.
Now go, and find Roderick if you can.
I will, my lord. Thank you.
So yeah, there's not a ton of downtime for me to explain what's going on or anything,
Squire, fetch us more wine.
or what I'm thinking.
Can you give me a hand? Come on. Can I get up to you?
Fine, but you owe me.
Oh, you? I've been a squire longer than you have. I outrank you.
Ooh. So yeah, this is actually the highest the graphics
Wine,
fidelity goes.
My armor, clean my boots. Just my luck to end up ignoring while you serve the Lord. Let him fetch his own wine for once. He's a drunk, a liar, and an arrogant prick.
You'd better watch your tongue, Owen. It could be much worse.
What the fuck do you know about it? Nothing is worse than Norin. See, that's why you're lucky. Low expectations. If I'd grown up covered in pig shit, shovel and slop, well, maybe I'd think saddling his horse was the greatest honor in the Seven Kingdoms. I suppose this beats pig farming.
Who doesn't love bacon?
Ah, pig farmers. All I'm saying is, at this rate we'll never be more than this, which is nothing. The lowest of the low. For all I know, we could be squires for life. All in wine around a fucking wedding.
Give it time. You'll get there.
More easy for you to say. Maybe if my uncle were castellan at House Forrester, I'd feel different.
Who my uncle is has nothing to do with it. How much further?
It's right over there.
The Red Wedding.
Take your time.
You lot have drunk your share. Good thing Lord Walder's in a generous mood.
Fucking phrase.
Nice night for a wedding. Not often he finds a willing husband for one of his daughters.
Don't expect me to carry it for you, Sir Garrett. What? What's wrong? What's gotten into you? You're acting rather odd.
We have enough wine.
And take the fucking flagon already.
What's wrong with him? Something the matter?
Bowen, we have to go.
You go if you're in such a rush.
We have to warn the others.
Screw you.
Good luck.
Oh, there you go. That's what happens. Don't, yeah, say.
Shoot that one!
Oh, whoops. Seems like, why didn't you just go around it? Suck on that. Ooh.
Got it. Did you find Roderick?
Speak up, Garrett.
The Freys. They slaughtered him, my lord.
Fraser douches like that.
Where's my squire? You didn't leave him, did you? What happened to him? Speak up, boy.
I didn't leave him. I couldn't save him.
Find a weapon, quickly!
You fucking traitor! Go, my lord, while there's still time. Seven hells.
You're wounded, my lord.
I've suffered.
No shit.
Guard this with your life. Return it to Ironrath, where it belongs. There's no time to waste. I'll be damned if I let it fall into the hands of those traitors. You have to go.
You're welcome to the fucking torch.
There's still time, my lord. We can both
You
get...
must go.
My lord,
By the gods, you will obey me. Tell your uncle. Tell him the North Grove must never be lost. Tell no one but him. Do you understand? You must swear. Tell only your Uncle Duncan. The future of the house may depend on it.
I swear that I will, my lord.
Hey, it's those foresters.
Go. On your honor, you must do this for your house. Go!
Kill those fucking foresters. With love.
You know they can see you, you're only like 10 feet away. Okay. Ooh, goody. The best part of Game of Thrones to this day is that intro. It's a bit disappointing they didn't have a better one, though. They didn't use the one from the actual game. Or for the show. Sweet. Alright, we're actually going to wrap it up there for this episode. That's as good a place as any to end. And when we come back, we will continue on with episode 1 of the Game of Thrones Telltale experience.